All right, time now is 12:06 afternoon. I had I wouldn't say a good sleep, but I did sleep plentifully. So I I went to bed. I tried my best to go a little early, but I wasn't able to because I'm stupid. But I went to bed at around 3:15, and then it's 3:15, and then I set the alarm at 11:10, so that I would sleep for 7 hours and 55 minutes. That's about 8 hours. It's great. But I somehow woke up at around 10 maybe or 10:30, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. I just rolled on my bed, laying side by side, just and there's noise outside, and I just can't go back to sleep. So I technically didn't even sleep for 7 hours, or maybe I did, I don't know, but it's not a lot. But I feel fine, actually. I don't feel tired at all. Maybe my sleep tolerance, like my need for sleep, is decreased. Maybe. I feel like I am. I don't know. But anyways, it's 12 noon. It's been a long gap between 11 and 12. And that's because there was a plumber. So last night, when I went to the bathroom, I think um there's black stuff like sediment on the shower place, and I'm like, what's going on? So I spoke to Mr. C, and he said, oh, did someone no, I asked Mr. C, did someone go to the bathroom? And he said, probably not. Maybe yesterday. Is the toilet flush broken? Indeed it was, because a couple days ago the toilet flush was broken, but I fixed it. But the problem now is the black stuff. And so Mr. C saw it, and he said, oh, because it's backing up. The washing the dishes, the water from washing the dishes went to my shower and backed up. So this morning they hired a plumber to fix it, and now it's fixed. But yeah. Welp, there's that. Alright, so today's plan, I'm gonna stay at home whole day again. Why not? If I can rest, I will rest. Um, yeah, the usuals. I have Spanish 2 from 2:30 to 4:55 first class, and I have to be there. And at the meantime, I'll eat a slice of apple pie for breakfast, and then I'll probably have cup noodles for lunch, which is going to be awesome. And yeah, and then I'll just whatever. If there's an orange here, I can eat that. And then there's dinner, and then that's it. Yeah, nothing else. Um, and then yeah, just watching a movie. So last night there's this terrible movie called Black Comedy. I watched it. It's terrible, and the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's going on. Actually, it started way before I started watching the movie. I think it started at around 11 p.m. I called my mom on WhatsApp, trying to talk to her about going to church, the whole conundrum, um, finding a job, and you know, just haircut, going to the gym, my bank account, looking for a new apartment, and all that jazz. And the Wi-Fi was so bad that every 3 seconds or so, or even 1 second, occasionally every 1 to 2 seconds, it just stops. The WhatsApp call just stops, and it has to reconnect, and it says reconnecting, and it's like boo, boo, boo. And sometimes it lasts a little longer, like 5 minutes, but it's like 3 seconds per. And my laptop is experiencing the same issue where the Wi Fi just appears and disappears, appears and disappears, appears and disappears. It got so frustrating that I went out to the living room to check the router, and I unplugged it and plugged it back. Didn't work. And it wasn't until like 12:30 it started to work again, but it's still very unstable. So I don't know what's going on, man. Oh, why? So there's that. But yeah, I'm going to be watching a movie tonight. Hopefully that problem doesn't occur again. And on Wednesday, okay, so Wednesday I have class. Thursday I need to go out to take the vaccine. Friday I have class again. Actually I don't have to show up, but I also kind of do, I guess. I don't even know. And then Saturday is the film 40, and I just received an email from my cinematography professor. Very excited about that class. Oh my god, it's been years since I've been excited about a class. Last time I was excited about a class, it was Chinese, taught by Mr. P, the one and only, greatest teacher in the world. And now I'm excited again. And I can't wait to take cinematography, man. I feel like I may get disappointed because my expectations are high. But he said in the email that I have to make this library card. What? So I'm gonna do more research on it and see if I can get it like online, or do I have to actually physically go to a library in order to make it. But excited. Also, JT told me yesterday that she made another friend, someone who also studies film production, and her name is Lily. And I'm like, oh my god, Lily, family name? And JT's like, no, I don't know her family name. Because in the film club, I know another girl who's called Lily. Well, woman. Everybody is older than me in this world. But aside from Diana, because Diana's 18. But yeah, like maybe it's her. If it's her, then it's a pincer. It's a pincer, okay? And that's funny because I checked the roster of my digital filmmaking course, and Lily's on there as well, alongside with the president of the film club, Betsy. So I could like speak to Lily, and maybe JT have told Lily about me. So maybe Lily will run into me and run into JT and hang out with JT, and it's like a pincer movement. That's like a way higher chance of befriending someone. That's a high possibility right there. See, befriending people is like playing chess. You gotta use your brain. You gotta use connections. Connections to another connection to another connection. It's a cobweb strategy. So, it is what it is. Okay, let's eat some apple pie.
The chapter exams. The midterm exam is 25%. The final exam is 30%.
All right, time now is 4:50 p.m. A couple of updates, actually, a couple of things. First of all, since yesterday, the black line, the black USB C type to USB line, this one, it's working again. It's working again. It immediately detects my phone once I attach it to the laptop, and it doesn't stop or interrupt or anything. It seems like it's working again. And I tried yesterday because I knew for a fact that if I ignore the line and don't use it for my phone for like 2 weeks, it will suddenly work again. And it actually does, which is very cool. Now, I just finished my Spanish 2 Zoom class on Zoom, and it was nice, I guess. The professor is nice so far, and a lot of 4 classmates in this class are also from Spanish 1, including the white bearded man who also took script writing course with me. So I was in the same class with him for 3 classes. I was with him, I was classmates with him for 3 classes unintentionally, and I find that hilarious. But I think it makes sense that 4 of my other classmates also took Spanish 2 after Spanish 1, because the textbook is a year-long thing. After a year it expires, so of course immediately in the next big semester you take the next Spanish course. So there's that. But there's a little there's a little breakout room moment where we basically have to do a repaso, a revision, So I was randomly grouped with this white guy whose name is, I guess it doesn't matter what name he is, but he's sort of this white guy, mid 20s, late 20s maybe, and we did our revision thing, so it's like como se llama and de donde es, and stuff like that. Well, de donde eres, and so back and forth, and then at the end we had a little chit chat, and when he asked me de donde eres, I said Hong Kong, and he continued to ask me afterwards, like, oh, you're from Hong Kong. Oh, when did you move here to LA? Are you in LA now? And I said, yes. When did you move here? I said, 2 months ago. And he said, oh, wow. So you're from Hong Kong. Your English is very good. I'm happy that I'm not getting this, your English is very good all that often. Like, the first time I've received an English jozu is, when I went to the Airbnb, the first one after I arrived in LA, and the old woman was like, your English is very good for someone who's from Hong Kong. And he said it. And I don't mind it. It does come off a little racist, but not really, because to be fair, a lot of people in Hong Kong speak English, but not as well as mine, not as fluently as me, because I'm just that good with languages. Yeah, there's that. And then he got curious, legitimately, like, oh, so you're from Hong Kong, like, is the national language there like Mandarin? And I said, no, the official language is Cantonese. But pretty much everyone is bilingual, especially my generation. We speak, and he's like, oh, bilingual as in Cantonese and English, or Cantonese Mandarin? I said, oh, Cantonese and English. We speak Mandarin too, but not as fluently. I mean, I'm not that fluent with it. I'm sure if I try, I would be, probably. If I like watch a lot of Chinese, like Mandarin Chinese movies, and listen to a lot of Mandarin Chinese music, like maybe I would get fluent. But I'm not there yet. Like, I started watching VTubers since 2 years ago, and my level of Japanese right now, I hate to brag, but if there's one thing I'm proud of, is how fast I pick up languages, and at this point my Japanese might be even better than Nick's, even though he's been watching anime since the beginning of time. But my Japanese might be even better than him. Might be. Who knows? Maybe he's a master. I don't know. But yeah, so there's that. And then he continued to ask, oh, but is Hong Kong like a sovereign state or something? And I said, well, yeah, it is for me. And then he started laughing. Oh, so it's like, depends on who you ask. And I'm like, yeah. And then I explained, so Hong Kong has its own government. It's separate from the Chinese government. It has its own currency. It has its own law system. It has its own thing. But China's, and he's like, oh, but does China recognize you anymore? And I'm like, no, not anymore. And he's like, oh, so I guess, and then he said, so I guess you may feel a certain empathy to Ukraine. And I said, well, yeah, but I don't know much about Russian politics. I know of Chinese politics, but Russian politics is another thing. And so he's like, okay, nice to meet you. So there's that. He's a medical student, and apparently he skipped Spanish 1 and directly entered Spanish 2. This is why he doesn't know half the questions, half the time. But he's nice, and I'm glad I'm paired up with someone nice, And she's like, nice to meet you. And I said, you too. This morning I received an email from the professor of my cinematography class, saying that I need to get an LA Public Library card, which is a little scary. And I emailed him saying, oh, but I'm an international student. I don't have like proof of address. And he's like, no, just like applied it online. So I did. So I have an online library card now. I did a little research on him. the professor, he's Indian, and it's he's actually legitimately born in Mumbai, India, and has been raised there for a little while, which is cool because it's international. You know, it brings some international flavor. And then I also did some research on the white guy who's going to be my professor for tomorrow's digital filmmaking class, which I'm also super excited about. I just received an email from him uh, to all the students, and he's like, "Oh, bring a binder file, bring a laptop, bring stuff." Bro, I don't have files on me. I have a folder on me. I have folders, true, but a binder. I don't know. Maybe I have to go to a Japanese stationery shop in Sawtell to find it, which is awesome. Sawtell is easily the best part in West LA. It's easily the best part. It's amazing. It's a wonderland. But I did some research on that professor, and his films in IMDb are not very well rated. But nonetheless, he has made films. So he's automatically better than me and everyone else. So that's that. But the cinematography guy, see, the entire college only has one cinematography professor, and that sounds really good. That means he's legit. That means he's the only one. So I'm down, you know? I'm down for cinematography, man. Saturday morning. Shit, I have to wake up 6:30 too. Ooh. I'm gonna try my best to sleep a little earlier tonight. 2:30 would be optimal. Um, yeah. I also didn't eat a lot. I ate apple pie. I ate the spicy cup noodles, which is way spicier than I thought it would be. But I'm happy I'm able to eat noodles nonetheless. I ate a small jelly candy, and I ate and nothing else actually. I ate a peppermint candy. That's it. That's all I ate today. It's fine. It's just once in a while. D lunch. It's totally fine. And tomorrow I'll eat something more, I guess. To be fair, if I want a D lunch, it should be Wednesdays because Wednesday, I would have to have an early dinner, which means a small portion lunch would be more fitting. So in the future, I should schedule D lunches on Wednesday, while on Tuesday, a big lunch. I should have done that. All right, time now is 11:46 a.m. in the morning on February 16th. So I slept all the way from 3:10 to 11:15, which means I slept for over 8 hours. Oh my god, what the hell? I feel refreshed and I feel good, even though nothing good or bad had happened to me today yet. I feel refreshed. Um, yeah, and also I begin to realize that sleeping more than 8 hours is important because, if I don't, my both eyes would be very open when I wake up. But if I sleep enough, when I wake up, my eyes would be like this. That's because my right eye is myopic, my right eye is nearsighted. And if I sleep enough, the body is going to try to recover itself. So the recovery process is affecting the contraction of the muscles around my eyelids. Thus, this is a sign of recovery. But if I sleep less, it won't happen. So, yeah, awesome. I had dreams actually. Nothing all that vivid, but it's just a piece of this, piece of that. I remember going to this resort with my mom in Hong Kong, maybe on a mountain in Sunset. Kingsley showed up and he taught me how to open and close a gate. I remember sneaking back to the school and seeing a teacher climbing up the walls because the school is a building, and I jumped up floor by floor, and I wanted to be sneaky about it because I didn't want people to see me. And I dreamed about this. So last night, out of curiosity, I went to Canvas and I saw that Film 31 course is open. And as always, as a curious man, I went to check what kind of people are enrolled in this course. What kind of classmates would I have? Would there be only 9 students like last time? I hope not. Turns out there is about like 20 something students per class, and both of the classes are enrolled in that Canvas as well. And in my class, there's a Japanese man by the name of Maruki Daiki, who was also enrolled in Film 40, which is really interesting. Enrolled in Film 40, but another Film 40. And then there's a Japanese girl called Nagai Rika. And then, okay, again, I don't know how Japanese they are. If they're truly like born and raised in Japan and are immigrants, then I would have to call them by their last names, like Nagai-san. But if they're born and raised here in America, but born to 2 Japanese parents, then Rika, hey, So I need to know that. But the most interesting piece of information is there is a Hong Konger. I saw the last name Lau, Lau, and I was like, oh my god, Hong Konger? Because the same word is pronounced different in Mandarin. In Mandarin it's Liu, Liu, but right here is Lao, Lao. So I clicked on her profile and he actually wrote something. Hi, I'm a girl from Hong Kong. This is my 2nd year, just like me. Her major is film production. Oh, this is the first Hong Konger I've ever run into who also majors in film production, aside from Vera's boyfriend Austin, who's studying in BU right now. Oh my god, I have to see her and speak to her. And she's in my class, so chances are I will see her. Hopefully she doesn't like absent or drop the class or something. But I will see her and I will walk up to her and say hi. And the bonus would be the Japanese people. And there's also a Korean boy. I forgot if he's in my class or not. But that's it. I realized Asians are very few and far between because in my Spanish 2, not a single Asian. I'm the only one. In Chem 11 there are a few Asians. There's a couple of Koreans, a couple of Chinese, 1 Japanese, I think. And the student tutor for my Chemistry 11 class is a Korean, Pyun Zion. But because people don't know how to pronounce Jiyeon, so she had to make up an English name called Geo, like Geo, Geo, like geography, which is hilarious. But again, like nearly every single Asian I'm gonna meet here is just gonna be like fluent English speakers because they're either born here and raised here or they're just as good as languages like me. But yeah. Anyways, I'm going to have breakfast. In my meal plan spreadsheet, I said gyoza, but honestly, I'm not into that this morning because it takes time to fry them. So I'm just gonna have a simple bowl of cereal and then I'm gonna have cream of mushroom soup. I checked the fridge last night. There's fresh milk in it. Yay. Or if there's toast outside, I can eat that as well. But cereal nonetheless. And yeah, and I want to eat something small because I'm going to leave a little early today, 4:15 even. I haven't downloaded the Waze Carpool app, but I will download it a little bit later. And I'll also check some other stuff. Like Potter sent me an IG post saying that there's a way for me to register like my tap card and make it free so that every time I take a bus it doesn't take any money because I'm a student now. So I need to look into that. I have a lot of stuff to look into, and it's going to be a fun day. Oh my god, on-ground film course? Ooh, that's what I'm talking about, bitch. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't look good at all. I look like a mess. My hair looks like a bird nest. It's just I hate it when like my hair is growing to the side, but due to gravity, it's also going a little low, so it's like I'm like a badminton ball. So I need to just act cool. Instead of looking cool, I need to focus more on acting cool, I guess. I mean, I don't look that bad, but you know, definitely, if I hadn't combed my hair, it would look like a parade. Funny because today is the parade for Los Angeles Rams. But yeah, hopefully I meet more Hong Kongers. Hopefully that other boy Mank from my psychology class would introduce me to the Hong Konger if he wants to. Um, I'm gonna call him Mank, and don't ask why. Even though anyone with a brain would probably figure out why, but um, yeah, and I would like to meet more non-Hong Kong or East Asians, specifically Koreans and Japanese, because of political purposes as well as just making cool friends, so that I can show off to other people. Hey, I made Japanese friends. Who's the weeb now? So yeah. I found some bread in the fridge. It's probably from 2 weeks ago, but as long as there's no mold, I can eat it. Alright. That's a lot of egg white. Okay. Ooh, it smells burnt. What the fuck? Okay, let's get another one. Let's do it faster this time, because I don't want burning.
Consider the zero to be significant. And so if I want to show this with two sig figs, I have. Now, the second part of getting an average is involving a division. And of course, a division involves
Alright, time now is 4:02. I look like shit. I look terrible. My head is like a bird nest. um, urgh. Yeah, I'm going to leave now. I finished my bowl of cream mushroom soup, which is not that bad, but it's not all that great either. It's kind of salty and it's a big bowl. And I ate some potato chips, and I'm going to leave now. So yeah, I can't upload my movie review. The movie review itself is 10 minutes long, but it takes about 2 hours to upload it, so rip. Um but yeah, I tried downloading this app called Waze Carpool, and I tried to download this app called Waze Carpool, and I can't download it because apparently this app is not available in my country for some reason. And so I downloaded Lyft, and I tried to register it with my American Express card, except it didn't work for some reason. because I read the security number wrong. I thought it's at the back. Apparently it's not. It's somewhere else in the sky. I'm not going to tell you where. And even though everybody who has an American Express card would probably know this, but anyways, so I registered it with my Citibank card, and then I talked to my mom, and then I learned where the security number is on my American Express card, so I registered it with an American Express card. Okay, so now I'm ready. I'm gonna go out now, and I'm gonna go to CMD, and then I'm gonna walk around and go to a Carl's Jr., buy myself a quick small burger. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just drank soup. I'm full, but for sustenance purposes, I will go and eat a little bit of food item, and then yes, and then afterwards the class shall begin, and I'm honestly legitimately excited. Not even gonna lie, I'm actually excited. And the biggest reason why isn't even the filmmaking, but the fact that there's another Hong Konger who's majoring in film production there. And if she shows up, I'm gonna just walk up to her and say hi. And it's very awkward, like breaking the ice type situation. Like if I walk up to someone who seems to be Asian and I speak to them in like, or if I walk up to someone who seems to be a Hong Konger with a very Hong Kong name, but if they have grown up all their lives here and doesn't speak Cantonese, and I go up to them and speak English, like it's just very awkward. But according to her profile, she is really actually legitimately from Hong Kong. So there's that. Also, the Japanese people, like maybe I could befriend other them, you know, who knows. So very exciting. I can't wait. It's been a long time since I've been this excited about a class. It's been a long ass time. So whew, Jesus Christ, how do I get there? It takes 1 hour. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. I need a bus number 1. Where is bus number 1? I believe it's right here. Alright, just got off the bus. It's like 5:34 p.m. right now. The bus is incredibly late, and I don't know if I have time to buy a small dinner for myself. Okay, what the fuck? There's no sidewalk here. I can't just walk like this, can I? Fuck. Okay. There we go. There's a fucking sidewalk. Fuck. Alright. Food. Come on, I'm just gonna buy something small. That's fine. Carl Jr.'s. Where are you? Where are you, Carl Jr.'s? Show yourself. Okay, you know what? Carl Jr. is over there. I'm not gonna cross that road. Not now. I'm in a hurry. I'm gonna go to McDonald's and buy small stuff. Small snack and a small drink. Call it dinner. That's it. That's it. I'm done. It's so diluted. It tastes like water. Oh my god. I'm just gonna throw it away. $3.86. Not really worth it, but I don't care anymore. Alright, should be a 10-minute walk, which is not that far. Alright, beautiful neighborhood. Why is I don't really get it. I don't really get why I have to walk through this in order to get to school. Really don't know. Oh my god, there's no crossing red light. How do I cross this road? How the hell do I cross this road? There's no light. There's actually literally no light. My school is right there. Fuck. Alright. That's good. There we go. My school is here. Oh, come on. Come on. What the fuck? Okay, here we go. Center for Media and Design, CMD. Oh boy, I'm in. I'm in, boys. I'm in. Alright, so that was, yeah, time now is, 10:24. Oh, magic number. Okay, hold on. I need to, there's a lot to say. There's a lot to talk about, but, I don't know where to begin. That was a very interesting experience. I guess let's just, start from the beginning. I was late. I wasn't even late. I was on time, right on time. But so I immediately, running out of time, I immediately went to a McDonald's, ordered a chicken nugget, 6-piece, ordered a small soda, and it's just diluted Fanta. Immediately ate it animalistically and then left. And yeah, and then immediately afterwards, I went into the campus. And there's this bald black man. And there's this bald black man and another taller white guy. And I was like, in my heart, I was panicking. I didn't know where to go. I have no idea where to go. I don't know where is room 182. So I was gonna walk up to the bald black man. Well, he was actually behind me. I was just gonna walk to him and ask him. And before I could do that, he walked up to me and asked me, where's 182? And I said, well, I was just gonna ask you that. And then he's like, okay, it's either over there or over there. So at the end, we went over there another way, and then we went into 182 and went into the classroom. I checked the time. I was right on time, 6 p.m. But for some reason, there were already like 30 people sitting there. So I immediately grabbed a chair, even though there were almost no chairs already. I immediately found a squeaky chair, sat on it, and just stayed there. And here we go, class begins. It was a big studio, and the teacher is Italian, and I didn't expect, I thought he's like American, but I guess not. He's Italian, and I was looking around, looking for the Hong Konger and looking for the 2 Japanese people. And I looked around, and I don't know, there just aren't a lot of Asians. And the bald black dude was still beside me, though we didn't talk a lot. So I sat there, and then about an hour later, at around 7 p.m., there's a break. And okay, I feel like I'm walking to the wrong direction. Hold on. Okay, turns out okay, right, you're right. I'm taking the bus. I'm not taking a Lyft or an Uber. I'm insane, I know, but I'll explain why. And I thought I could just walk back to the junction, like back in Psychology 3, Psychology 14, but I just realized that I'm way farther. Like, the main college campus is still over there. I'm way far behind. I'm way far east. So I'm just gonna go to the nearest bus station and took number 7. Call it a day, really. But yeah, at around 7 p.m. We took a break. took a 15-minute break, and I was awkward. A lot of people walked out of the classroom. I kind of don't want to do that because it's cold outside, and I don't know anyone. I want to speak to the Hong Konger, have to find her, and also looking for the 2 Japanese people again because they're awesome, I guess. Right. But yeah, I was just standing around, so I'm like, okay, man, shit, I have to start a conversation, I need to do it. Go, just walk to the professor, say something, or maybe not, I don't know. So I immediately, my mind was storming. I was trying my very best to find something to say to someone, just anyone, anything, just speak up. Don't stand here. So I saw this East Asian man. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but he doesn't seem like a Korean. I don't know. So number 7, there we go. So I walked up to him and I asked him, I was late this earlier, like, did I miss something? And I asked him, like, what was he doing when he pulled a piece of paper, because a lot of people did this in the break where they pulled a piece of paper out of their notebooks, walk up to the professor, and the professor write down something. It's probably like a code adding thing. If they want to join the class, they have to add the code. And so I asked him, and he's nice about it. He's like, oh, you didn't miss anything. And he speaks fluent English, so probably not an immigrant. And we continued to talk, like, and then I asked him, like, do you know, are the people going out to have dinner? Like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And then from afar to my left, actually to my right, because that East Asian person, who I later found out was Chinese, that East Asian person is sitting to the very, very, very left of the room. So there's nothing left but a wall and right to the people. So I overheard at my right a girl saying, I'm from Hong Kong. And immediately I'm like, okay, excuse me. I sneaked up to that girl in the white dress. I kneeled a little bit because I was standing, and the girl was sitting down, and the girl was speaking to another 2 people. And I was like, wait, excuse me, are you from Hong Kong too? And the girl looked at me and he's like, oh yeah. And then I did this. I was like, yes. Obviously it wasn't dramatic, but I reflectively did this. Like, I was just so happy. Okay, I'm gonna Alright, got off bus number 7. I'm heading to the same bus stop I always go to after Psychology 14. So basically the same bus stop now. If it's safe, if I have a pepper spray in my pocket right now, it would be great. And I would probably do this every Wednesday then, if it doesn't cost me all that much. That's a number 3, but that's not the direction I want to go. Alright, but why is that? It's not. What? I pressed it a couple times already. Oh, there we go. So yeah, let's continue. So I heard her say, I'm a Hong Konger, I'm from Hong Kong, and I was really happy. And then she stood up. She's really small. She's kind of like Pink. She's small, skinny, and she's like Pink. And I was gonna like continue to speak to her in English because we're in front of some Americans and it's rude to speak in our own language. And so I was like, and then she's like, 其實你已經開始講廣東話啦. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we started speaking Cantonese, and yeah, the basic questions. What school do you go to? Is this your second semester? What's up? Like what are your majors? Even though we're both film. And then I expressed how surprised I am because I don't know any Hong Konger who's also film. And then she said, oh yeah, you're the first one I met too. Jesus Christ. And then we talked and then breaks over, and then I said, okay, talk later. Okay, so I went back to the seat, sat for another hour, and the course is fine. The teacher's really funny. In the first hour, he basically talked to us and introduced us to the course and showed us a bunch of photos and analyzed the photos and how different elements of the photo work, like the performance, the framing, the whatever. And then in the second hour, he made us watch 2 clips, a remake and the original of Footloose, and sort of compare which one is more effective, which one is not, you know, the framing, the cinematography, the editing, the performances, the music, etc. And then we have the second break, and then in the second break I was gonna walk to the other Hong Konger girl, speak to her, and before I could even do that, the Chinese person walked up to me and was like, "What's up? Let's talk." So I was kind of taken by that. So I wanted to continue to speak to her, but I guess I didn't have a chance. So I spoke to the Chinese man instead, who I was like, I told him, "Oh, I'm from Hong Kong," and then he's like, "Oh, I'm from China." Apparently he's from Changsha, Hunan, so long sand essentially. that's a direct translation. So he's from Changsha, Hunan, but I think he's half white because his last name is a white name, and he's called Thomas. But anyways, we talked more and more about what do you want to do in the future, you know, what are your favorite movies. Apparently he doesn't watch a lot of movies, and he watches TV shows more than movies, and he didn't recommend me any shows, but I told him about Mr. Robot and Succession, and he's like, "Oh, Succession, yeah." And he told me that he's working on a short film next week for a portfolio for UCLA, so there's that. And he said I could join him if I want to, and I said, "Oh yeah, sure." And after learning that he's Chinese, I was a little bit worried that he's going to be mad that I'm a Hong Konger, but I guess not really. And my phone received a notification because Marty followed me on Instagram, I guess. Not Instagram, on LinkedIn. And he saw that and he's like, "Oh, LinkedIn? You got LinkedIn? Oh, yeah, friend me." And I'm like, fine, even though I've never done that before. But I friended him on LinkedIn, and then I asked him if he has Instagram, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got Instagram too." And yeah, he seems like half Chinese, half white, at least for me, in my opinion. I don't even know. And when he followed me on LinkedIn, he's like, "Oh yeah, Shangang, jiao." I don't know if he's mocking me or is he like just saying it for the sake of saying it. I don't know, but I hope there's no tension between us. But a little bit later, he's like, "Oh, why don't you sit beside me? Why don't you sit beside me?" And I'm like, okay. So I grabbed the chair, another chair, and I sat beside him right up the wall, and I sort of sat there for the third hour, and that was it. And then after that, after the class was dismissed, he was like, "Okay, nice to meet you, see you next week." And then I ran up to the Hong Kong girl, who I'm gonna think of a fake name and give it to her later, but I ran up to her and continued speaking to her, and we sort of talked, and we walked out of the campus and we continued talking, and oh, number 3 is here. It's coming, hold on. Alright, so time now is 11:02. I'm back, I'm safe, I'm in one piece. I didn't get killed or stabbed or raped or anything. Yay! Ooh, I survived a night in LA. Alright. Let's continue the story. Shit, I almost thought my glasses fell out. It's in there. Thank God. Let's continue the story. So yeah, at the end I walked with the girl. You know, since she's like pink and her real name does start with the letter P, I'm gonna call her something like pink. Like, I don't know, let's call her P for now. So, P, I spoke to her, and okay, so I met 2 people today and got both of their Instagrams. The first one being the Chinese guy. His situation, I don't know what's his situation, but he came to LA 2 years ago. He speaks very fluent English. He told me that he doesn't speak fluent Mandarin. He used to study somewhere else. He just came to my college, and this is like his first semester or something. And he's asking me for, course recommendations. And he's shooting a short film next week for UCLA. Okay, P, the girl, Pepper, like Pepper Potts, Pepper. So Pepper, she, we were like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I asked her where she lives, and she said, somewhere in Koreatown. And I'm like, what? That's super freaking far away. How are you gonna go back home? And he said, by bus. And I'm like, what? By bus? Like, aren't you afraid of, I don't know, being sexually assaulted? I mean, you're just a small girl. I didn't say you're just a small girl, but I was like, aren't you afraid it's dangerous? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm afraid, but I have a pepper spray. Oh, well, I guess now Pepper is a good name, because I thought she's holding a vape. And at first I thought was like, okay, she really is like pink. She's very pure, and she's very social as well. Like, she spoke to the two people in front of her during class. But she's kind of like, just pure and innocent, and kind of awkward, and kind of just there. And she pulled out a small black thing, and I thought it's like a vape. And I thought, oh, maybe this girl is a little more, a little more naughty than I thought. Turns out it's a pepper spray. I'm gonna call her Pepper then. It's perfect name. So she's like, oh, I'm gonna take a bus back home. And originally my idea was to take the Lyft, like LYFT. But honestly, she was like, oh, no way, you're gonna actually take Uber? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking on it. So at the end, since I want to continue to talk to her, I walked her to the bus stop. And we talked. Apparently we didn't talk a lot. It was like 10 minutes. She knows some other Hong Kongers, and I asked her, well, it would be nice, I can introduce my Hong Kong friends to you. And to my surprise, she said, I don't want to meet more Hong Konger friends. I want to meet other people because I want to learn English, I guess. I'm sure there are other reasons, but she hadn't told me. And yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like me. She's probably the same age. She's also from 2020 DSE. She also was in the same college as mine, and is online for a whole year. Last year, September, she came here, and I don't know what else happened, but she apparently isn't as much of a cinephile as I am. But she also told me that she watches TV shows more than movies, just like the Chinese dude. And she said, oh, I really like Money Heist. And immediately my heart is like, okay. So she's not really that much of a cinephile. To be fair, Money Heist isn't that bad, but come on, really? So I'm like, oh yeah, I watched the whole thing. And then she said, oh, I also really like, what's that other show she mentioned? Shit, I forgot. But it's like, oh, Sex Education, right? And I told her, oh, well, I only watched episode 1. And, I asked, like, oh, so what kind of movie do you watch? Why are you film major? And when I asked the Chinese dude's like, oh, I want to run shows. I want to be a showrunner. Because, I'm fascinated by how the shows sort of impact culture. So, ooh, interesting. When I asked Pepper, she's like, well, in secondary school, I made a short film, and it made me interested in filmmaking. So, yeah, nice. And, that's pretty much it. And she hadn't watched a lot of movies, to be honest. And of course, I have to open off, like, have you seen Wong Kar-wai? And she said, oh, I've seen one, and that is In the Mood for Love. And I'm like, oh, you know, all that stuff. And yeah, that's it. And then we parted ways. And she's taking, I'm not gonna say which bus. Well, I technically have already said it. Have I? But, you know, she's gone. And I've gone my way. Now I'm here in one piece. I'm gonna do this so that it looks clearer in front of me. Right. So, Pepper, I checked her Instagram. So, to my surprise, the Chinese dude, he has a lower number of Instagram followers than me. Wow, what? That's insane. He has like 163. I have 187, including him. And then after adding Pepper, it's 188. And Pepper has like 600. And she's from Kowloon Tong. And I'll talk later. All right, it's 11:24 p.m. I am home again. I will talk more later on my conversation with Pepper and my thoughts on the overall course. But now I shall make myself food. I'm starving. I only had 6 pieces of chicken nuggets for dinner, which is atrocious. Back in Hong Kong, I would have a full meal. Not 3 course, just meal. Because Chinese food doesn't have courses, bitch. So I'm gonna eat whatever I see, okay? I'm gonna try to look for meats. I have an orange, so I don't have to care about vegetables. But if I find some broccoli, I can do something with it, probably. I don't know. If I can find cheese, bread is great. There's some leftover cookies. I'm not gonna eat this apple pie. That's for breakfast. And tomorrow, I might as well go to the supermarket tomorrow to buy more food, buy more everything, whatever. It's a total friggin' disaster. There are some leftover foods from last Sunday. And on top of this box, there's a bottle of this, and it's opened. It's not closed, and it's dripping milk. This fridge is actually a mess. Glass bottles, like this. Boxes of raspberry and fruit. What is this? What is this even? Stale chocolate covered strawberry from 4 days ago. My God. This is actually a mess. Okay. So my meal, right. Cheese, cheese, cheese. What's this? I guess I could use this for cheese. So cheese, bread, cold cut, make a sandwich, microwave these, and that's my dinner. Yes. Oh my God. I found this plate in the fridge, deep in the back. This is in the fridge, just with a tin foil. All right, dinner's ready. Dinner at 11:42. Goodness me. I also added some cheese on there, because why not? So hot. Okay, I'm gonna grab a heat insulator, aka this. Alright, let's try a bite of this super quick makeshift sandwich with mortadella, ham underneath, now is not cold, grain bread, and some, I assume, mozzarella cheese? I don't even know what kind of cheese this is. Alright, how am I gonna eat this? I wish it's crunchier. Oh, so hot. Oh my god. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is not a bad dinner. Not at all. It's 12:14. Got some oranges, and I found some pineapple juice in the fridge. Yay! Oh my god, I'm so happy I found fruit juice. I'm so happy. So happy about it. Oh my god. And it actually tastes acceptable. I'm blessed. Alright, time now is 1:47 a.m. in the morning. I had a 20-minute phone call with my mom through WhatsApp, and yeah, interesting day. It's just so fucking stupid that my 10-minute long YouTube review. So I actually exported my my college update video yesterday, and it's 1 hour and 40 minutes long. And if I upload it in Hong Kong, it'll take about 1 hour and 40 minutes. But in this house, it takes way more. So today, I did my black comedy movie review, and I wanted to upload the movie review first because it's shorter. But I couldn't do it because I didn't have time, so I'm uploading it now, and it's still 1 hour and 17 minutes left. And it's been uploading for 40 minutes already, 45. So why is the Wi-Fi so bad that it's taking 2 hours to upload a 10-minute video? But yeah, so I really can't do anything about this. This is fucking bullshit. Like, why is it so bad? Why do you have to be so bad? 3.24. Okay, am I showing the address? I'm not, right? Okay, good. 3.24 download speed. Come on. Okay, anyways, let's continue with the story. Spoke with Pepper. I don't know where did I last leave off, but it's been a while. It's been a couple hours since I've talked about what happened today. And it's always kind of surreal when I find another Hong Konger and just speak to them a lot and actually socialize. Like, do you know what gives me pleasure? It's chatting with people. And that's so pleasurable because you get something different out of every single chat, especially when you first meet the person. Like the first chat, second and third chats are always the most memorable ones. Like, or the first few social interactions with someone are always the most like memorable ones. But yeah, it's just really weird. So I checked her Instagram, and she has like 600 and something followers, which is a lot. But I don't even feel inferior anymore. I only have 188 now that she followed me. I hope I break 200 soon. Like, come on, my time is due. Like, the last time I hit 100 on my Instagram, it was December of 2017. And at that point, I had like 7 subs. And I thought to myself, it would be extremely funny if I have more YouTube subscribers than Instagram followers. And right now, I have 767 YouTube subscribers and 188 Instagram and 153 for my private. But I don't mind that at all because I don't even use it anymore. Pepper. She's small like Pink. She's very social and outgoing. And she said one thing, and that is, I said I could introduce my Hong Kong friends to her, and she said she doesn't want to know that many Hong Kong friends, which seems weird because if you ask me, I would be extremely happy if I could know more Hong Kong friends, other friends as well, but I don't even like beggars can't be choosers, you know? Beggars can't be choosers. So if you give me friends, I don't care where is the friend from. I don't care like I don't care like how what kind of friend it is. Could be an evil friend, could be a super pure, like innocent friend. I don't care. I just, it's still stuck at 1 hour and 18 minutes left. Jesus Christ, the Wi-Fi is so bad. But yeah, I don't even care anymore. Like, if there's a friend, I'll take it. Maybe this is what happens when you just have so many friends that you just cease to care because you start picking up, or not cease to care, you start to actually care. Which is a shame because I thought, like, I thought maybe I could establish more Hong Kong connections and maybe I could bring us all together and create an actual Hong Kong Student Association where it's basically just, me, JT, Potter, Diana's roommate, Sophia, Pepper, and Mank's friend. And Pepper also knows people, except she also knows other Hong Kongers, but she doesn't keep in touch with them. And I also, again, I checked her Instagram and it appears she has a boyfriend, and that boyfriend is a Latino. And it's kind of funny because I think that's the Latino she's referring to when she said, because I was speaking to her about film production major, and I said, oh, I'm also studying Spanish too right now. And she said that, we don't have to actually take any foreign language courses because we are immigrants and we automatically don't have to. But I said, no, I checked the IGETC, the general education. Like, we can't do this. Like, we have to do a test, and the Chinese test is probably in Mandarin, so I have to take foreign languages anyways. And she's like, no, you'll go ahead and ask your agency. So, RIP, I spent a lot of money taking 2 Spanish courses, and it turns out it doesn't even matter. RIP. But, yeah, I'm gonna take my laptop out to the living room and see if it improves. Second of all, she said, oh, I know someone who speaks Spanish as their native language who's also a film production major. And I'm like, oh, really? And she said, oh, I could introduce you to him. Or, well, she said 佢, which in Cantonese, it could be him or her. It's gender neutral. So I don't know who, like, if it's a he or she, but she's like, oh, I could introduce you to them. And I checked her Instagram, and it appears that she has a boyfriend. It appears, I'm not sure, but it appears that she has a boyfriend because she's taken a lot of photos with him. She's posting a lot of Instagram posts about him, and it's a person with a Spanish name. So I thought, okay, maybe there's that. So yeah, very interesting, I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But again, it's a good thing that I, know another film production major Hong Konger. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take a shower now, go to bed. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up a little early. I checked the schedule. My Spanish class lasts until 4:55. And after the class ends, I have to immediately leave, go to the college campus, and take my booster shot. Yes. And yeah, tomorrow morning I'm gonna eat some gyozas, which is gonna be awesome. And I didn't finish watching Reservoir Dogs. I just can't. So I'm gonna have to watch anime and Reservoir Dogs tomorrow, and a couple of album reviews.